Hey guys, welcome back to Leon's Homegrown. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video on hay bale gardening. So I've got a fair few photos and contents from around about 7 years ago when I was playing around with hay bale gardening, and it was quite a good success. So I thought what I'd do is I'll put that clip into like a voiceover with all the different clips of the whole process, and hopefully that will be interesting and a bit more informative to some people that want to start hay bale gardening. I do have to mention to the start, with hay bale gardening, it does need a fair bit of water, so just something to keep your eye on if you are going to do that. And what I'm doing in this video is showing you the process of when I done it about 7 years ago, as I said, but it was on a larger scale, so you don't need to be on that high a scale, obviously. Anyway, enough of me, and I'll get into this clip. Okay, so the start of the process will be to select some hay bales. So here I've got some hay bales selected. They're up on the angle with the spiky part of it up, so it can absorb the moisture. And best to find some organic grown hay. It doesn't really matter what sort, but I'd probably prefer to avoid anything that's got seed in it, so you're not growing seed. So and obviously chemical free would be a bonus as well. So once you've got them into place, I've just put some mulch around with the wood chips just to prevent weed pressure, and then we're going to start the watering process. So with the watering process, it's very important. It takes about probably around about seven or maybe 10 to 12 days where you need to water it and add blood and bone into the system and water that into it generously, and that's going to start basically composting it. From there, after that 10 days where the hot compost has gone down, then you'll be adding the topsoil over the top. So I've just put some topsoil in there, and that's where we're going to start germinating the seeds. So it's still quite a lot of watering. As you can see here, I'm watering the actual seeds I've already planted in there. Now they were high densely planted, and I probably should have been thinned out a fair bit more, which you'll see at the end. So once that 10 days is over, adding all that blood and bone, then you'll be putting the topsoil on there, planting your seeds, and from there you'll be obviously watering it. This is very important. You water it every day to keep it from drying out. The bale itself will be starting to compost in there, and after that hot compost process is done after the 12 days, then it's safe to plant the plants without burning the roots. As you can see here, I've got it all planted in the topsoil I've added to the top of the bales, and you can see I've got some of them, the fungi growing there, which is definitely a good sign that the bale's starting to break down, and by then it will be more of a cold compost, so it won't burn the roots. Here we've got some seedlings that have come up. All right, so I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and it's not finished. We'll continue on. I just thought I'll just jump in here quickly just to let you know that I have actually started my own community on the Skool platform, and yeah, it's called not Leon, sorry, this one's called Leon's Homegrown. That one's called Homegrown Gardening, and there's a bunch of great people in there that are willing to share and help heaps of people. It's free to join, doesn't cost anything. There's a classroom in there where I'll be putting some videos in as well, which is free as well. And yeah, just thought I'd let you know that that's there, and hopefully we'll see you in there. Okay, so where were we? Back at the seeds. So the seeds have come up. As you can see, that topsoil, a lot of it washed into the bale, and the bark was left on top. So probably best to get topsoil that's not full of bark, but it didn't really affect the process. Everything grew well. This particular spot here, I actually had seedlings growing in there. It's probably, I'd say 3/4 was grown by seed, and and a quarter had seedlings put in there, which went quite well as well. Which all the bales were cured with that blood and bone, as I mentioned earlier. Here we can see some of the flowers going by looks of that. That's some of the stuff I planted by seedlings. At the same time, you can grow seedlings in your pots while you're waiting for the curing of the bales to be done. And yeah, so I've decided that I thought to myself, well, there's a lot of nutrients getting wasted that are going down in the ground, so I did put a little bit of a garden bed down beside it, just in the ground, but put a bit of soil in there, and planted around the edges of the bottom of the hay bales as well. So that's looks like the carrots there quickly, and beans growing there. You probably noticed that there's a hothouse there. This was quite a while ago, and this is actually where the food forest is. Some of the pictures you might have seen, the mango tree that I've been featuring lately in the last couple of years, that's grown a lot more in the last 7 years. Then we've got some corn growing there. Corn grew all right. I wouldn't say it was a huge success with the corn, but it still did grow, and I did harvest something out of that. We've got some, well, we're going pretty quick here. So we've got some peas there. So this would have been more of a winter project going by my memory, and a lot of these were winters going into, or late winter going into spring. So there it is there. This was actually built in the old chicken pens when I used to breed chickens. So and that whole area is now a food forest. There's the corn again, and some more leafy greens growing there. There's some lettuces that grew quite well. This is sort of getting later on, few months obviously into the process, and that's what I wanted to show you all. I don't normally do these voiceover ones, but I had these footage and I had to expand them into landscape mode so it didn't look so weird. And yeah, so basically what I do want to let you know is that the hay bale gardening does take a lot of water, and you really need to be on top of the water. So you can put an irrigation system, which you can see there. I've got like a little bit of a drip irrigation system on that, which save time, because if you've got plenty of different gardens areas, you can just put that one on to water while you water some different areas, and then you can go back and switch that one off. So it is recommended, but I water early in the morning most of the time, and it's always nice to water by hand and see how everything's growing, and grab a feed of lettuce like I did right there. Looks like some broad beans there as well. So some of the root vegetables did go really good in there. As you can see by that picture there, they were the radishes. They look like some sort of brassica growing there at the moment, and the carrots harvest quite well. Zucchini, as you can see there, that went well as well, and the flowers for the pollinators, which you just saw. There's the carrots. Carrots went really good. I was really happy with the carrots. They pulled out easy. They grew nice and long because there was no restriction with that, and yeah, and everything kept growing nicely. So would I do it again? Definitely down the line when I have got some irrigation, because I've got so much going on at the moment. I do use a lot in the garden in the process of hay. And here's the harvest. So that's towards the end of it, and yeah, we harvest quite a bit out of there, so I was quite happy about that. Okay, so thanks heaps guys for watching that, and I hope that that helped some people out that were interested in hay bale gardening. And the next one will probably be more of a tour of what's growing and going on in the backyard. So thanks heaps for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.